Today I'm going to go through a full workout, warm up, some strength work, some agility, and a little bit of jumping. Some things I'm doing to get my vertical back after I tore my ACL, MCL, meniscus, and had reconstructive surgery. I am about 4.5, almost 5 months out from surgery. I passed my Vail ACL return to sport protocol 3 weeks ago. Typically that test is done anywhere from 9 to 12 months. It's a single leg strength and a single leg jumping test. Past that at 4 months, I'm not returning to any sport since I don't have a specific season or anything. Just continually working to get stronger and get back to jumping. After surgery, I had 8 weeks, no weight bearing. I was on crutches, and then slowly over a 2-week period, started weight bearing like 25, 50, 75, 100, and got out of my brace as quickly as I could. And then every new thing that I got cleared to do, pretty much went as hard as I could on it. So my progress has been pretty fast relative to what you might see from other people, but I've been pushing pretty hard. Haven't missed too many days of hard training. Little things that made a huge difference were right after ACL surgery, I worked super hard just to get range of motion back. So I think I had full range of motion by 6 weeks after surgery. Heel to butt, full extension, plus a couple degrees hyper. From there I could start training harder because I had good range of motion, could get into better positions. The biggest change from training pre-injury and surgery to post is that I have to warm up or else my training's terrible and my knee feels terrible. So I've been spending a little more time on this bike. And then I'll take you through everything I do from mobility to strength, agility, and jumping. after you spend 8 weeks after surgery not putting your foot on the ground, and just, I had a month before surgery, so 3 months straight, basically no walking on this leg. A lot of things just shut off. My lower leg got super tight and weak, so it's been taking a little bit of time to just get things firing again. Foam rolling, and I'll hit it with a massage gun as well, just to loosen it up before I start my training. So I've worn straps. I've worn these ones for over 10 years. I don't use them on the early sets, but as I start to get heavier weights, especially since my training has all been geared toward like sprinting and jumping, it helps me to be able to pull, whether it's deadlifts, heavy clean, snatches, helps me to pull harder and focus on positions if I'm not worried about my grip. So I've actually clean and snatched my heaviest weights, my PRs, without straps, but obviously that's hook grip, and I was training for weightlifting at the time. So, and deadlifting, I've deadlifted my heaviest deadlift ever without straps. So yes, it saves my grip. Mostly I use it so I can just think about the pull in all those positions, since I don't plan on competing in weightlifting, at least anytime soon. One other thing that's really helped me with weightlifting is on my warm-up sets, I just focus on my positions, my technique. With 135 pounds, I start to notice, like, if I'm just popping it with my hips and then it's slow to catch, I'll work on, knuckles down, really pulling high and turning under fast. So with lighter weights, try to exaggerate those qualities that you want to see with heavier. And if you don't have those qualities, you're not going to lift heavier weights. So perfect time to practice. Don't be lazy with your warm-up sets. So I'll throw on the straps for this set at 225. Just help me think about pulling hard. Once I get heavier, as my hips extend, I'm really thinking about high pulling that bar as much as I can. And you'll notice that I'll try to catch the bar as high as I can. I'm doing power cleans, but I'm trying to do them without dropping into much of a squat. It's a quarter squat. As the weight gets heavier, maybe a little bit more, but really working on pulling hard. $255, and I'm just going to start doing single reps now. Pull as hard as I can, try to catch it as high as I can. Go from 255 to 275. On that last pull, I felt like I was a little bit too fast right off the ground, and it made me a little bit slow with my hip extension. So I kind of maybe shot my hips up a little bit first, and just got me out of position. So second rep here with 275, I'll work on staying upright and make sure I get contact at my hip and faster hip extension. I was able to pull the bar really high, but I can use my hips and less arms on this next one. yeah, that one I was able to pull a little faster at the top part, and then my elbows were probably a little quicker. And it's also interesting to see how it feels versus watch the video, which is why if you look at my channel, there's thousands of 10-second clips of 20-second clips of my lifts. And I do those to keep a record of my lifts and post them on YouTube, but a lot of it is just so I coach myself during my training session, because what it feels like is not always what it looks like. And I've noticed that with cleans, with deadlifts and squats. I use it a lot in bench press, things like that, because some days the weight will feel super heavy, and then I watch the video and the weight's just moving, whether it's squat, bench, whatever, the weight moves easily, and so it'll cause me to do a heavier lift than I would have if I just went on what I felt like alone. So nice to have kind of that immediate feedback right after a lift. Watch a video, see what it looks like, fix your form, and then also, if that weight moves super easy, maybe you go heavier that day. $295. I think this is the heaviest I've been since surgery. That moved pretty easy. I mean, it's a high effort, but we'll go up one more. Since coming back from surgery, I've been pretty conservative to go up in weight unless, it moves pretty easy like that. Like if I have any struggle to pull it or catch it, I just end the session and usually drop down, do some reps with lighter weight just to work on technique, and then move on. All right, so hit 295, 315. I just didn't have the pop to pull it. Another thing that I've noticed post-surgery is just once I fail at something, I'm pretty hesitant to just go after it super hard again. So as you can see on that pull setup and everything, and then as I go to pull the weight, technique was subpar on the first one. The second one, setup's fine and everything. It's just getting yourself to a point where you have the confidence to go, 100% effort. So I'll hit that probably before Christmas. So 295 today. Now we'll go and do some agilities and a little bit of jumping.
One thing that's been surprising but also pretty fun is after surgery you're doing a bunch of things that you've already done before, but it's kind of that like first time feeling since you've had surgery. Your knee, your leg feels totally different. And today I'm doing backflips for the first time. So I got a little bit of an elevated surface, and then we'll gradually lower it down until hopefully hit some flat ground backflips today. Pretty good. It's a little funny on the right side. Tucking, I can tuck, but I definitely feel that it's tighter on that side. So landing feels solid though. Barely a difference, but mentally makes a difference. Once I hit a couple on this, should be able to hit them on flat ground. Here we go, first flat ground backflip in about 6 months. Done too much, only 2 different times. Everything I'm doing is between 9 and 9'6". Since I'm not jumping super high, I'm working on more reps, so I'm not taking near as much rest in between these jumps. I'm jumping right, left, right. No single leg yet, but just trying to get repetition, work on taking off and landing quickly. Jump right left. A lot of times my left foot is the one that comes down quicker. It takes a little more force, so I try to jump the other way so I have that same landing on both sides, and work on just cushion that landing a little bit so that I'm not putting unnecessary like pounding forces on either joint really. So probably something I should have worked on before, just soft landings. But the biggest thing right now, same thing with cleans and jumps, is my leg just doesn't fire at the speed that it used to. I can tell my left leg, like if I go jump off one, my left leg just pops. My right one takes a little bit, so the reaction time is just slower on that side still. But I don't think anything will improve that other than repetition. Also working on just left versus right hand, trying to improve my coordination while I'm getting better at jumping. As you can tell, I've still got a dominant take off and much better coordinated with my right side. I'm doing a lot of 2-foot landings, so you'll notice I have times when I'll land right left or left right or right left a little bit, and that's the reality of sports. You cannot expect to land on 2 feet every time. When I got injured, that's what I heard most is, oh, you got to work on landing on 2 feet. Well, you know, you're playing a sport, you get in the air, somebody bumps you, you hit the rim weird like I did. You're going to have 1-foot landings, and most of them are going to be fine, but you know, practicing just always landing on 2 feet is a good skill to cushion landings, especially when you're doing training, but it's not realistic to expect you're going to land on 2 feet every landing if you're playing a sport. Almost every landing I've had on these handful of dunks is at least off balance. It's, you know, pretty close to 2 foot, but almost none of them are like, you know, so it's somewhat predictable. But again, once you get back into a sport, you got to be okay landing on one or kind of having a staggered landing and be strong enough and be ready for it. Doing a lot of 1 or 2-step takeoffs just because I don't feel like my right side is strong enough to push off hard and decelerate everything and then push that force back out. So gradually, as my squat strength gets stronger and my quad is firing, my hamstring and glute is firing better, I'll add some speed. But for right now, it's a lot of short approach, pretty slow approach, and then just straight up. right jump. Pretty weak. As a right-handed shooter too, and having my right leg repaired, I notice a lot of I like to shoot off the left-hand dribble, but a lot of my moves require a push off here, even if it's a left hand, because it's a step back, so it's pushing off. And that's been something I think it's hard for my leg to do that, but it's been really good because I've had those lots of repetition on just that light push off and then taking off into a jump. That's a full workout. That was about an hour and 15 minutes. Nice to have the time on a weekend to do the extensive warm up, the foam rolling, massage gun, all that, and then kind of hit a little bit of everything. Now I'll go and just foam roll again, stretch out, especially my calf. I've noticed on the surgical side, I've got a lot of calf tightness after every workout. So we'll go in, hit that, and be done.